New and disturbing details emerge in a case of alleged child abuse.
A mom and her boyfriend stand accused of killing an 11-year-old girl with special needs. 13 News Now learned the couple faced previous allegations of child abuse. Megan Puryear has the story. She's been following this since it broke.
And Megan, the more we learn, the more disturbing this story becomes.
Regina, David, the most disturbing detail I think so far is the fact that this girl had functioning level of a 2-year-old essentially and had difficulty communicating if and when she was hurt. Now the documents we found also show that this alleged abuse went on for years.
Court documents show Heaven Watkins had a brain hemorrhage and hydrocephalus as a baby. The documents state she tried to tell teachers her father, Joaquin Watkins, hit her, and staff noticed she had a swollen lip. Paperwork reveals teachers worried about Heaven's, quote, highly sexualized behavior and words. Holly Dean of CASA in Virginia Beach says these are warning signs.
A lot of times in school, those kids sometimes have behavioral problems or in the communities, they may be acting out or having emotional outbursts.
LaToya Smith and the kids moved to Norfolk 10 months ago from Minnesota. Court documents there show Smith's ex, Joaquin Watkins, kept drugs and weapons in the Minnesota house, and he sold drugs from the home. Heaven allegedly has suffered abuse by her mother, LaToya Smith. In 2015, social services removed Heaven from her mother's custody. Court documents show Smith experienced significant stress from authorities taking her children. They required the mother to see a therapist to deal with her own past trauma. Executive Director of CASA, Season Roberts, says this is normal.
More often than not, the kids who are being abused, their parents have been abused in the past. They're victims of child abuse and neglect themselves. And so if that's not caught when the parents are young, it kind of perpetuates itself onto the next generation of kids.
Police charged Smith with child abuse and neglect, which caused serious injury on February 26th, and also charged her boyfriend DeMont Harris that same day with malicious assault. Heaven suffered her last abuse last week when medics found the child dead in her Norfolk home with serious injuries.
Now, it's unclear if the father, Joaquin Watkins, faces any charges. There will be a candlelight vigil for Heaven Friday night on Bellevue Avenue, where people will release pink and purple balloons. That's her favorite color. Live in the studio, Megan Puryear, 13 News Now.